Hello and welcome to Billy Ho Sports. It's the biggest weekend of the Saratoga meet featuring the grade 1 Travers Stakes, which I already have a preview video out on that one. So be sure to give it a look. Well, today's going to be a special day. It's a sort of a triple feature presentation of sorts. We're going to be releasing 3 videos. So we're going to cover all the stakes races 9 through 12, actually, because we've already covered race 13, right? So we got 4 stakes races to cover. Then there's going to be a not late pick 5. I should correct myself there. It's a mandatory pick 5 payout, races 9 through 13, because races 10 through 14 is the late pick 5. So there's a difference. So be sure you make note of that. But this is a triple feature. So I'm going to do a video on races 9 and 10, and that would be the Sword Dancer and the Ballerina. Then the next video would be 11 and 12, which is Forego and Alan Jerkins. And then the third video, obviously, is going to put a bow on everything and make us a pick 5 bet. So be on the lookout for all of those videos. And, as the sole proprietor of this channel, I do appreciate all the support you guys give me. Lots of great comments on the Travers videos. Great takes. Keep them coming. Look forward to it. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that like button, all that good stuff. And let's get this thing started. Okay, race number 9, the Sword Dancer grade 1 inner turf, going 12 furlongs, 1.5 miles. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So, looking at the field, Soldier Rising number 1, trained by Chris Clement, will be ridden by Jose Ortiz. Really strong 105 speed figure in the second place finish in the Bowling Green grade 2 behind Silver Knot. So you can't knock that kind of an effort. That was his first start, actually, of 2024. You can see the previous start was way back in November at the Red Smith grade 2, where he closed and almost got there against Masterpiece. I think that's who that was. So bunch of second places as a 5-year-old previous to that. So Turf Classic, good looking horse, 8-1 morning line. Number 2, Measured Time, Charlie Appleby, William Buick. Super impressive win in this grade 1 Manhattan here. The 102, the 101 late pace, 104 speed. Although it's not as significant to me on turf races, it still shows that this horse can get out and motor early on. And the early speed in a turf race is typically not the way I like doing it, but the 2 best horses here do. So you can't doubt those 2 horses. So Measured Time looking really strong as well for the overseas barn. Easily held off Nation's Pride, who Nation's Pride just won the Arlington Million. So he beat Nation's Pride fairly handily. And then Nation's Pride wheeled back off of that and won the Arlington Million. So tough enough for me. Godolphin all day long. Sired by Frankel, who's like one of the greatest ever. I love these average win distances that just show you he runs all day, 9.6 and 8.0 on the Dam Sire. So that is just all about some long distance stamina, but he's got a little speed on the Dam Sire side too with the 8. So he can get out front and do it. Probably your likely favorite. Number 3, Farbridge, horse I was on, I used to like a lot. As a 3-year-old, which had some really good efforts. Belmont Derby last year is one. Pennington Ridge was right there. And then just kind of fell off didn't really get off to a good start, I should say, after the layoff coming back in March. 85, 88s, those 2, the Turf Classic, just not looking really good at all. Then kind of got it together a little bit in the Manhattan running 3rd, but really just flopped in the United Nations ninth place by 4 lengths. That race was so hotly contested. Plus 21 for the second call. That's really, really fast. So, if you want to toss that race, that's up to you. But to me, still a rung or two below the ladder. Obviously, Silver Knot, you're going to be all over in this one after the impressive win last out. Top 5 turf male in the United States, 3 straight graded stakes wins, no doubt. He defeated Nation's Pride himself 2 back. So the 4-year-old gelding is just really starting to blossom now. Has still looking for that elusive grade 1 victory, though. The missed by a nose in the BC Juvenile Turf way back in 2022. Then 5th in the Belmont Derby, Hollywood Derby most recent, back in December. So it's put up or shut up time for Silver Knot. 1-1 even money favorite going on the board, Flavian Prata board. Can't go wrong with any of that. So he does love that 12 furlongs. So you got to notice that as well, because he's got the 1.5 miles and he can cruise out front just like anybody else. So that grade 2 Elkhorn tells me a lot about how he runs 12 furlongs. Can just get out front and just run just all day long. You can see 8.6, 11.3 on the stamina on the damn sire side. So big time. Pioneering Spirit, probably not one I'm going to give a whole lot of big looks to. Does have Irad aboard, Irad Ortiz for Linda Rice, 5-year-old by American Pharaoh. Lost by 4 lengths to Film Star in the Lure Stakes, which was off the turf on the muddy Saratoga track. So like I said, a few rungs below on this one, nothing but 90 speed figures, 80s, going all the way back to a one-time big 15-length score off the turf. So if something were to happen and this race went off the turf, maybe give it another look. 2 successful trips on the mud. So I think the weather looks good for this weekend. So not really considering that. Grand Sonata, Todd Pletcher, Javier Castellano, 106 in that blistering paced United Nations, closed within a nose of Get Smoking, who just held on. Tawny Port was real close there, surging at the end. So 4th off the layoff. What else can we say about him? Does have a win back in last August on the Saratoga Inner Turf. So that was a solid run, going 1.125 and close to a neck win. So I think the distance is good, 7.782 for the average win distance, which is good. But probably not going to make the ticket for me in this race. So it's really just all about Silver Knot and measured time. It's tough to lead an entire 12 furlongs on the center turf at Saratoga, but I think this Saturday, either Silver Knot or measured time are going to take on that test. They will be running right together, most likely. Top 2 choices, $10 exacta box if you want to bet, something of that nature. If you wanted to pick an upset, Soldier Rising would be the one that I would consider to sustain closer and can still maintain a close proximity like he did with Silver Knot previous race. And Ortiz in the saddle, going to be able to save ground out of the one post. So that could be an interesting one coming down the stretch. Has closed within second place the last 4 straight races. And they were grade 1s going back to the Sword Dancer last year. So maybe this one can rise to the occasion. So that's race 9. We go over to race 10, which is going to be the Ballerina, 7 furlongs on the dirt for fillies and mares, 3-year-old upward. And we are going to start with number 1, Positano Sunset, trained by Ian Wilkes, Julian Leperoux up. 4-year-old filly by Golden Sense ran second behind Vava in the grade 3 Chicago Stakes at Churchill Downs. He was able to sneak up on Society and get to the place after Vava put that rival away in the stretch. They exchanged some barbs down the stretch, and after Society was beat, I don't think that we got much more of an effort out of Society. So I think Positano Sunset took advantage of that. I don't see a repeat of performance. She uh, has not shown the ability to run that kind of race back to back. I mean, 93 was her best speed figure before this 103. So I'll pass, probably passing on Wesley Ward's Chi-Town Lady, Jose Ortiz riding. Just really tough load, just way slow, got blown out in the Chicago. Uh, was not even in the ballpark really until got to within 6 lengths at the end. But third in the dropped to an optional claiming after that and got beat third place. No thanks. Vava, what can you say? 104, 103, 95, 102, wins, 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 grade ones all day. That Derby City Distaff was an impressive 2 length victory over Alva Star, who was like her main rival and who she came off the shelf and lost to by a half length in the previous race. So she flipped the script in the very next outing and then put together another in the grade 3 Chicago, now stepping back up to grade 1 company once again with Irad aboard, Sherry DeVoe, Vava. Everything points toward this horse getting it done. So does have some really good competition coming up, like number 4 Society. That's Steve Asmussen, T-Gaff, Tyler Gaffleone. The 102 in the Chicago was pretty good. That was the first off the layoff. As you can see, fired pretty well, led, and then gave it up down the stretch, but should be in a little bit better shape this time around. Sired by Gunrunner, the 5-year-old mare. So I would be interested somewhat in this one. I think maybe even just a straight exacta, or an exacta box with Vava, or you could bet it straight if you're that confident Vava's a single. You can go uncork it, and maybe put Vava over a couple of other ones like Scylla, who's the next one. But you can see the 102, 101, 105, 109 monster figures. This horse is definitely uh, formidable in second off the layoff for Asmussen. Should be, well, it is another mini layoff. So it's technically the first off a layoff, but second start of this season. So we'll see what she's got. Here's Scylla, Bill Mott, Javier Castellano, defeated by Dare Manor, but she ran her heart out in the Hirsch grade 1 here, out on the lead, and then just could not hold off a Dare Manor, who is just really one of the best as far as female sprinters in the nation, horses of that caliber, basically. 3 straight wins before that, Florida Lee, Shawnee, grade 2. So Scylla is probably a dominant grade 2 type, but has yet to prove herself in grade 1 company. She'll get another opportunity here if she was able to pull this race off, beating Vava. I mean, she would definitely cement herself as a top sprinter in the country. Judamont. So can't go wrong there. Then you got number 6, Sheeta Booty. And that's Chad Brown, Dylan Davis. Probably going to pass on this one. 4th in the Bed of Roses. 3rd in the grade 2 Ruffian. And previous to that, did win the grade 3 Distaff, but a couple rungs below the field here. The speed just isn't there. Got pretty good late pace in these last couple. So could pick up the pieces for a surprising 3rd place finish, maybe to round out a trifecta, but I'm not counting on it. Number 7 is a seed. This is another Judamont, and that's Chad Brown, Flavian Pratt. Probably going to get some bet down. I was going to say good odds, but when you got Chad Brown and Flavian Pratt together and a horse that has had 3 straight wins and a second coming into this, I doubt 8-1 morning line holds. It's possible, but did run pretty well in this grade 2 event right here. But just quite couldn't get there, could not overtake the winner, Spirit Wind. That was the honorable miss, by the way, that stakes. Late rally to pass Money's Gold in that race. And Clearly Unhinged was another one. Recent experience at the recent experience at Saratoga is a plus. So race under her belt here. Money's Gold, 10-1, morning line odds, Todd Pletcher, Johnny V. Not seeing it. Actually, I did just recently discover this one's cross entered in another one. So if she stays in this race, I don't think will stick with her. I don't think the speed holds. The outside post isn't a plus. Beaten favorite in the honorable miss. Weakened down the stretch going 6, so she's going further. I just think the outside post and all that together makes her less likely. Has not found that form that she had back in March of 23 when she was rolling at Tampa and Gulfstream. But that's going to be the field for this one. And I will say that it was a tough. Well, first thing I look at in dirt sprints, I like to look at the pars. Well, let's do some handicapping 101 by Billy Ho here. I like to look at the pars, not so much in the early pace, but I like the E2, the second call, and I like the late pace. It doesn't have to be all that, but it needs to be strong. And then the total speed number, obviously 101. So that's what I'm looking for is 106.97. So obviously the Positano Sunset achieved very much in that race, but that was a really big effort. Chi-Town Lady, you can see, has some good late pace, but not really enough to be there. Vava is the one I wanted to show you. The 105 and the 98 and 99 101. She's going to run somewhere between that right there, and that's going to be good enough to beat any of these horses most likely, except maybe Society if on the second start of the season, because she can get there. 107.93 is another number that I think I like. Actually, Society I think I like a little better than Scylla. This 113.87 might put her in position, but really didn't get it done down the stretch. Obviously, the 87 is a dip, but then the Fleur de Lis, I don't know if she can manage to run an 81 in the middle and then try to close it with a 104. I don't think she can get there that way. So she's looking at a 96, 98 type number, 98, 97 type number. I don't think she has, that's her even keel. I think it's either 81, 104 or 113.87 or 98, 97 in the middle. You don't see the two together. So obviously you can see the rest of these are just way lower. Cheetah Booty does have a little bit of close in her, along with a good middle run. But this 105.93, that's not too bad in the bed of roses to win by a neck. 101.85. So it's just the capability is there, but not the consistency. That's basically how I came to the conclusion that Vava is the one that I'm sticking with on top by like a 3-star best bet type play. Then I would put Society in a 2-horse box, and then maybe use Scylla and a seed, horses like that, Cheetah Booty, just kind of like a almost like you could just do the all ticket underneath. Like you could actually key Vava on top, play Society and Scylla second, 4-5, and then overall. Or if you wanted to put in just an extra horse or two, or just hit the all button twice. But I don't think you're going to get very much on your return on investment if you do the all button twice. So you'd have to really single it out. Like I would do a 3 and then a 4-5 and then overall for a trifecta, and then see how it bears out. Maybe you can get a 50-1 underneath or something like that to come in. Hello, Billy Ho here. As the sole creator for this channel, I need you, the viewer, to help me grow. Just by subscribing to the channel and clicking that like button alone, you can help spread Billy Ho Sports to the racing community on YouTube. But there are other ways you can help. You can instantly share my content on social media directly to your chosen platform. Finally, there are ways you can contribute to the show's growth financially. I use cash apps such as Venmo and PayPal. You can check the description of my videos for the details there. Also, did you know there was a super thanks option on YouTube? Yeah, just click those three little dots at the bottom right hand of my videos, select thanks, use the sliding scale to choose a monetary value that you would like to contribute, and boom, there you go. Remember, your continued support means so much to me, so thank you for sharing in this journey and have a great day.